Hello everyone, welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town, episode 84. My name is Devon, but you can call me Gibby, and I am here with Eric, who you can call Eric.
Hi.
Eric, I have a question for you. I have a little gossipy, a little rumor. I have a little news. I have a little question.
Did you pluck a grape from the grapevine?
I smushed it into bits, yes.
Oh my gosh.
A couple episodes ago, you and I went speed dating, and we matched with people, and I wanted to just hear a little update about how that was going for you.
It's been going all right. It's we went on a date. That was cool. It was at a restaurant, which isn't my first pick, but understandable. Because I was like, oh, we could go for a walk in the park. And she was like, at like 6 o'clock. 6,
At night
7,
with a stranger?
After work with a stranger. And it's, the fall season approacheth and it gets dark earlier and earlier now. And I was like, oh, right, my bad.
Right,
we could go
women,
something
yeah.
like... We could go bowling or do some type of activity. And she was like, what if we went to a restaurant? And I was like, okay. So we went to some type of kind of like Applebee's or Chili's vibe, but it was like its own thing. It wasn't one of those. And it was it was chill. Thankfully, there was no big sports on that night, so it was just normal restaurant crowded, not sports restaurant crowded. And we had a good time, we did that thing I think everyone does when you go on a date after speed dating of just like, okay, wait a minute, you're this person, and we talked about this, and it's like, right, yeah. Because, like, for us, we were the first people we talked to. So we were like, wait, we talked to, like, 15 other people after we talked to each other. Are XYZ true about you? Yes. Okay, cool. And the ABC is true about you? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it was a chill time.
It went well?
And it went well.
All right. I have just questions about just like the logistics. So
Okay.
how long were you like at dinner?
About 90 minutes, 2 hours.
And do you think that was a long enough time for this interaction?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd say the thing about a first date like this is there's no expectation of anything follow up. So you could just be like, you could say or do whatever you want if you've decided that there's not going to be another one and no hard feelings. So my thoughts kind of like, how long does that last, right? If you're like, okay, let's do half an hour, and then at the end of that, we can decide whether we want to have like another date that does have expectations. Or do you go like, oh, let's do like a full 2 hours so that we can learn a lot about each other and then still be able to cut it off, right? Like, what's the vibe?
So, I don't think either of us planned with that intention. Maybe she did. I can't speak for her, obviously. But then for me, it was like, oh, we're just gonna get dinner, and and that'll be that. And you could stay longer, and we did, right? Like we finished our meal and enjoyed the conversation, so we just stayed longer, and they didn't kick us out. And that's what we did. But I think, part of it was like, like, how was work? How was your day? And so a fair amount of it, not excessively, but a decent chunk of time was just like complaining about work stories and stuff like that.
Fair.
And then it was like, well, okay, how do you feel about children? Whether because I'm in the camp that I'm not here to waste anyone's time.
That's fair.
And I have said before on the show, I have my thoughts about that, and that's the hard line in the sand. And if someone's like, oh, I actually super want kids, and I want 10 of them, I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm so sorry.
Here's the thing. So I'm guessing that did she say that she doesn't, or does she say that she doesn't know?
She does not know, which
so here's
to
the
me
thing.
is,
the amount of women who have convinced men who say that they don't want children to have children is very, 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 very high. The amount of men who have convinced women who want children to not have them is 0.
Well, I don't know about that, but sure.
I'm saying
know
just
someone
who because
didn't want a kid, and his wife was like, no, let's have a kid, and they compromised and had one kid. And that kid's gonna have a terrible time.
What I'm saying is, just because she's like, oh, I don't know yet, in the back of her mind, to her that means, I don't know yet, and the day that I decide I do want one, we're having one. This is not your decision.
It is my decision, and is partially my decision. I'm not going to commit the rest of my life to a thing I don't want.
I just mean that her saying maybe is not the same as, like, if you were to say maybe.
I guess. Oh, and this is why I'd just be like, okay, bye. Because there are women out there who are like, I don't want kids, actually. And that is a hard line in the sand for me. And then I'll eventually meet one and be like, hello, how do you do? So.
But going good so far? I'm not saying it's gonna go that. I'm just giving you a little warning.
Sure.
That when women meet a guy that they like who says they don't want kids, their thought is, I can fix him, not I will respect that desire.
Sure.
Oh my! I said that came out kind of bad.
No.
That was a generalization.
Yeah, we've still been texting and stuff, and it's been alright. Unfortunately, it was raining when we left, so we did not plan a second date after the first date, which if you listen to dating, common wisdom, I suppose, like, that means a second date won't happen. We'll see. We have not planned another date yet. Whoops. But I mean, I this would be so weird if she ever found this.
You mean when she listens to every single back episode
oh
to
my
support
gosh,
her husband?
No, yikes! I'll save some of my thoughts then. I don't want that'd be weird.
Well, we're never going to say anything personal about anyone.
No, I know. I guess in my mind, I'm just kind of re-emphasizing, like, you know, she is undecided. That is enough for me to, like, wash my hands of everything, but I am willing to, like, go on more dates, learn about her, and, like, well, maybe maybe she won't try to fix me and she'll respect my decision.
Boo.
Don't boo me, I'm right. But yeah, it went, you know, we have some similar cultural things, so that's nice. You know, she's roughly our age. She's Italian. I don't know if the people knew that we were Italian.
Based.
But and yeah, Italian American, I suppose. So like there was some stuff we talked about, and it's like, oh, did you do the thing? And it was like, yeah, we did the thing. So it was cool. She's definitely a cool, chill person. There would just need to be more dates to you know, see what's going on, get deeper, get on some deeper levels.
Well, I hope that happens, and I hope the best for you.
Oh, thank you. And Not to pry too much, but just to reciprocate, how'd it go for you? Because you matched with someone.
So after texting for about a week, the person who I matched with had, I'm going to say, come to the decision that she did not want to move forward, not because of anything that was, like, not because of any sort of personality stuff. She, and I'm going to put this in the vaguest sense possible, I'm going to say that she wanted, like, a normal life. And I'm out here being like, yeah, so I'm a YouTuber, and that's not like a honey, I'm home 9 to 5 type existence.
That's no picket fence with dinner already on the table.
I'm like, best case scenario, I get like books published and I become like famous and like I get movies made out of my books. And if not, I'm still a YouTuber who will do live streams and go to fan conventions and meetups, and people have already recognized me on the street. So, like, that is stuff that will continue to happen. And she's like, I don't know if that's what I want.
Yeah. Especially if you want kids, and it's like, oh, the baby's crying on the live stream, and then people are yelling at you because there's extra noise.
Yeah.
And you're like, guys, it's a child.
So that was that. Nothing, no hard feelings, obviously. Same type thing.
Understandable.
It's possible that maybe she'll change her mind, but not counting on it. Like she literally still think I might change my mind, but again, not counting on it. I do think that one of the more interesting aspects of doing the speed dating is just so far. There have been times we went where I'm like, I really, really like this person. And then times we went where I'm like, there was literally no one there who was likable. And then this time, I think that, we did both find people that we really liked. Whether or not it ends up working out is a different answer. Right. But it just gives me the hope that the next time we go might be even better. Like, there's always the opportunity, because so far they've been such a mixed bag that, well, it's not like we always have a bad experience. It's every time it's different. So keep doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess my question for you is, are you in the mental space where, let's say there was another event 2 weeks from now, would you be like, well, yes, of course I'll go to that because I've only been on one date with this person I went on and I owe them nothing? Or would you be like, well, it'd be kind of weird to go to another event and try to match with other people when I'm still talking to this one girl? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So, I would still go, and I have no idea what your thoughts on this are, so hear me out. Kind of like you said in your just now, it has been one date, no expectations have been set, no one has said anything in either direction of, I'd like to see you again in a more serious or committed way or anything like that. It's all just been talk. And if you're just talking to people, you're just talking to people. No one's necessarily owed any explanation. Of course, if you, moved along in different ways. But as I stand now, right, I had dinner with this person and we text. And there has been no hint at, moving super further along. So I do not feel bad in any way to be, just to talk to other people and be like, oh, hey, maybe, I'm going to go on another speed dating thing and it's fine. And that would also be hilarious if she was there and we were just like,
oh no,
hey.
So is this our third date or does this not count?
Does this count? But yeah, no, and that's where I would stand.
All right. Kind of on this topic.
I
don't know. It would depend on the circumstances, I guess.
Sure.
Kind of on this topic, a very long time ago, because I think that I'd say that relationships and dating is one of the main topics we have on the show in general.
I'd say so.
Hopefully that will not be the case always.
Hey.
So a long time ago, we talked about sort of expectations with dating, and it kind of all falls into the category of me being like, lying is wrong, And when you're on a date with someone, you want to come off as good as possible while also being genuine and, like, not lying. And you also don't want to, like, close people in a speed dating environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes out and says, I love this, and it's something that you hate, like if someone came out and said, I love football, I'm like, I have zero interest in football. I really don't, like, I don't want to go to a football game with you, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's possible that, like, they only say that because they have, like, a passing interest and, like, they wouldn't really care in the future. Like, when my dad met my stepmom on their first date, one of the first things that she said about herself was that she was a gamer.
Okay.
And my dad was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. You know, my kids have always had those PlayStations and those Nintendos. And then since the entire time that they've been actually together, she has, like, not played a video game or anything. Like she knows, she's like, oh yeah, I remember playing BioShock. And, like, that's the extent of, like, the amount that, like, any of us talk to her about games. And it's because she's like, yes, when I was younger and when I was single, I had my PlayStation. And now that I have, like, a real life, it's not as important to me anymore.
Yeah.
So my whole thing has always been, like, the things you might describe yourself with on a speed date that might be a red flag or the other person might think are incompatible might not actually be that, and so it's very, I don't know, it's not, I don't want to say upsetting, but it's like, you need to say things that are true and interesting, but for all you know, you're saying a red flag to the other person, but it's not something you actually care about, which sort of defaults to you wanting to be, like, as vanilla as possible, so you don't accidentally say something like that. But then, if you're being vanilla, then you're not going to be remembered, and so it's, like, this whole thing. So we had this episode where I was talking about that, and I think I talked about the dance of, like, pushing forward to know a little bit about the person's conversation. Like, I think we talked about board games. You know, if someone says board games, I'm like, well, do you mean, like, a World War II strategy game that lasts 6 hours, or do you mean Jenga? Like, what's a board game to you?
Right.
So you have to kind of push back and forth. Someone left a comment on that episode and said, Gibby, that's the most autistic thing I've ever heard. And that's been living rent-free in my head for the last, like, 3 days.
No.
I'm like, no, you don't understand. I have anxiety, and first of all, obviously nothing wrong with being autistic, but, like, I've spent a lot of time, like, trying to think about the way that people think and, like, how they might go through things. And I have anxiety about the situation, and speed dating is a very unique, circumstance to be in. I'm like, no, this is something that's rational to think about. No.
I mean, I think there is a valid, like, again, nothing wrong with being autistic or having autism, but, like, board games are kind of a wide genre. Like, did you play the game of life growing up, or are you playing, I don't know, D&D, or are you playing Wingspan, or, you know... I think it'd be like, oh, I'm into sports, and you were like, okay, well, what kind of sports? Do you play rec sports? Do you play contact sports? No contact? Same boat, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm assuming what the person meant was that me diving deep into people's motivations and anxieties in social settings is something that certain autistic people have to do because they lack social cues. So they're like, I don't understand how people do things or why they do them, so I sort of need to learn how people work to understand social situations, which kind of sounds like what I was doing, but was not what I was doing. And I've been like, what am I saying on the podcast that people are hearing incorrectly? Oh no. So I've been having thoughts about that for a few days. I have a topic. Let me do a little. I'm gonna do a little tease. Okay.
I want to, before we leave this train and head on to a new train of thought.
I hate trains.
You don't. Maybe you do. I say speed dating, just go on with radical honesty. You know, even if it's, like, gonna be a red flag or whatever, if you're like, I'm... You know, at the time with your stepmom, right? It was like, I'm a gamer, and I game super hard. Like, hey, man. It worked out. You know, I would rather one person be super interested in me than, like, 10 people kinda interested because I was vague. Or Vanilla E.
Vanilla E, yes.
And that's my thoughts on that.
Okay. I was going to say, I do have a sort of longer topic.
Yes, let's move trains.
No,
We're
no, not about
transferring
trains.
over.
No. Stop with the metaphors. I do not think it's something that could possibly fit into this episode, but I will say I do have more to say about dating in general. So that'll be people's little tease to tune in next time. So like we could segue, we could merge, right? Because we're not on a train, we're in a car, because cars are cool. We could merge into that lane, but instead we're going to merge into a different lane.
All right, let me know what station we're stopping at.
Okay, so the lane that we're merging into, right? We could go the dating route, or we could go other comments I've received recently route. We're going to go into the other comments I've received recently route.
Okay.
Okay, so I've talked about it a couple times. On my other channel, I've been talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's books.
As you do.
There's almost 50 episodes of that series. It's been almost a year. Obviously, 52 weeks a year. I've been doing them once a week. It's going to be over, not this coming Sunday, but the one after that. So basically, I have 2 weeks left for the finale.
Wow.
Throughout all of these episodes, I have had a couple things going on in the background. Obviously, I have a running story that you have helped with. You helped me film this episode where my co-host, a hand puppet named Toto, is driving a car. You helped me pull off the stunt for that. You voiced the character of Clifford the Big Red Dog's head. You acted out some of the scenes we did in Japan. You were the cameraman, or you were the other person on the camera. So you've been helping this whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very... Isn't it interesting for you to be like, oh, wow, remember when we spent like 3 hours in the snow last year filming that thing? Isn't it interesting just from your perspective to be like, that series is still going and is about to finish?
No. I don't keep up with it. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
But I do, go to that spot occasionally. And I'm like, yeah, I did film a thing in the snow here. Wow.
So, beyond just having this running story in the background about my hand puppet, I have an Easter egg. I have a puzzle, like a scavenger hunt thing, that I've been hiding in the background of all the videos. Not all the videos, but throughout all the videos. And at the end of the series, which, like I said, is about a week and a half from now, I am going to reveal dramatically at the very end. And just so you guys know, I've hidden something throughout this series that you're going to need to watch the entire thing again to pick up on, and whoever figures it out first gets, like, a prize.
Oh. Do I get a prize?
No, because you've participated. I've had you, you have been part of the puzzle. Some of your lines of dialogue have been part of the puzzle.
Oh, I know what the puzzle is now.
And
I'm not happy about it.
So here's the thing. I have not announced that the puzzle exists yet.
But you have now.
I have now. Well, it's because someone on Twitter already solved it.
Oh, well, you owe them a prize.
Someone on Twitter tweeted something to the effect of, like, Gibby, I don't know, like, why you thought you'd be able to hide this from me, with one of your lines of dialogue that is part of the puzzle.
Incredible.
And I'm like, well, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. And in the finale, I'm going to say, hey guys, there's something hidden. First person to find it wins. So in my opinion, this person did not solve the puzzle. This person found a clue in the wrong order.
Okay.
This person saw something and went, that's out of place. And my thing is like, no. You found a puzzle piece. You have to put the puzzle together.
Okay.
So, it's kind of annoying because we're so close to the finish line. There's one more video in the series. There's one more episode, at the end of which I'm going to announce that there's a puzzle. And just now at the end, they have found it.
Yeah.
If they'd waited a week, it would have been fine. If they found it 6 months ago, that also would have been fine. It's just we're so close to the ending. They're spoiling it.
Hey, yeah, that's what happens when you put puzzle pieces in your videos. Someone finds a puzzle piece. You're like, huh. If not puzzle, why puzzle-shaped?
Exactly.
So what are you gonna do? I mean, you got to give him like a shout out or something.
I think first of all, I'm assuming that this person would be uniquely skilled to solve the puzzle in general based on what they found already. But I think I will just continue pretending I didn't see it. If that person wants to like DM me or something, that's fine. But if I announce that they solved piece 1, it'll give away too much of the puzzle.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought it was being clever. I'm like, literally, no one will solve this. This is impossible for multiple reasons. And then this person like already figured it out. without hunting for it, someone already figured part of it out.
Well, maybe you were being a little obvious in this latest episode, or...
I guess I was being a little too obvious. All right, what about you? Have you had any interesting comments in your YouTube videos recently?
My YouTube videos are these things. The podcasts,
but Eric, you've been talking about starting a YouTube channel for like 2 years at this point.
Whoa, yeah. Listen. I talked about it in confidence, and then you have brought it up. That's all on you. It exists in your mind.
So you think at this point that that's not a path that you're going to go down?
No, props not.
You're going to find a different career?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I will just exist in the ether. And
understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You know how in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Riku just kind of existed in oblivion in the opening cutscene? That's me.
Yes.
Just in oblivion.
Okay. It's called Castle Oblivion, right? I remember my lore. No, it's not Castle Oblivion?
The castle is Castle Oblivion.
Yes.
But he's in, like, just a gray space that is, I believe, like, Oblivion. Like, he's like in a limbo realm. And then he's, like, shunted out of it.
Into Castle Oblivion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently Five Nights at Freddy's is Kingdom Hearts, and now
Magic the
Gathering is
absolutely
Kingdom Hearts. Literally everything is Kingdom Hearts, and I'm just standing here going, what?
FNAF is Kingdom Hearts because it's using similar plot points. When you say Magic the Gathering is Kingdom Hearts, do you just mean it's joining together a bunch of different properties?
Yeah, it's being in a gummy ship and flying to different worlds. You know.
I understand.
It's the in thing for everything to be a universe, and Kingdom Hearts was the OG universe maker.
Yeah, crossovers didn't exist. Crossovers didn't exist before Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Not at all. Zero, in fact.
Yeah. What? You think Batman's gonna fight Superman? He clearly can't win.
Have you, I know you don't really do comic books, but have you heard about the recent, Deadpool Batman crossover?
I did hear a little bit about it, yes.
Do you have any thoughts on it? Because you're a Deadpool guy. You love Deadpool. You're like, I'm Mr. Deadpool. You knew who Deadpool was before the movie even came out.
I did. I used him for some quotes for certain projects in school. And I do not keep up with comics, though. So... the only reason I vaguely know of it is just because it's so, the Marvel DC crossover. I don't want to say too much about it because, spoilers. It just came out.
I think anyone who's interested in it already knows it. Did you read it, or do you know the story?
I vaguely know some of it, that, like... Deadpool just kind of shows up in Gotham, and he was like, yeah, I got paid a bunch of money to kill some people, and I'm gonna attack Bruce Wayne. And then the bat signal or Alfred walks in and is like, oh, it's the words, and Deadpool's like, fine, I'll just go kill Batman. And they're like, how are you gonna find Batman? And then Jim Gordon turns on the bat signal, and he's like, that's how!
Yeah, it raises the question.
That's just...
Well, it's funny. So, Deadpool's fine as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it when there's sort of small fourth wall breaks like that, because you're like, yeah, why wouldn't every single villain that has ever wanted to kill Batman just waited at the bat signal? Or just looked in the sky and gone, he's being called to, I'm guessing the bat signal's like on top of the police station. Batman
Yeah.
is going over there. Let me drive to the other side of town and commit a bank robbery right now. Because he is busy.
Well, he's everywhere all at once because... Ooh. What? Was it in the Robert Pattinson version that it was like... It's a signal to strike fear into people to give the illusion that he's like always watching? Something like that?
Probably. I only saw that movie once.
Yeah, same.
Ladies, if you were on a speed date and you sat across from someone who had extremely tough opinions about Batman, is that a red flag?
Okay. I don't know if it's just a me thing. I don't know if it's my taste in women or what. All of the women that I have had, like, decent conversations and relations with, all fans of Batman. And they all love Dick Grayson. And I'm just like, does this say something about them? Does it say something about me? What is happening? Why is everyone so into Batman and specifically Dick Grayson? Outside the obvious, he is the best Robin because
he is the best Robin.
And then you feel bad for Jason Todd, and you go, "Well,
yeah. Well, do you?" My what I find interesting about Batman, I've never cared about Batman like as a kid. The way that like I cared about Spider-Man as a kid, or the way I cared about like Power Rangers as a kid. I never cared about Batman. Now, the Dark Knight movie is one of the best movies ever made.
Sure.
Like, period. I think that is a masterpiece of a film that sort of happens to be about Batman, as opposed to, like, I don't know. I think watching that as a kid gave me absolutely no desire to then... Yeah, it gave me no Batman desire to be like, I love Batman now. I'm going to go bat all of the men.
But it did give you desire to make movies.
Whereas it did make me interested in movies. Whereas, like, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, I went, I love this character now. I love Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure where people our age and slightly younger got their Batman love from, because we're a little too young for the Batman animated series from the 90s.
I still got some of that.
Yeah. Like, I remember it being on. I remember the Justice League cartoon more so than my brother would watch. But yeah, the Batman animated show was a little before our time. And I guess maybe the Arkham games people liked.
Yeah, people did like the Arkham games.
But I remember when I played them, because my only experience with Batman were like the movies, I was like, I don't know what a Harley Quinn is, I don't know what an Oracle is, I don't know what's going on.
I guess Spider-Man does have that simplified, right? If you play a Spider-Man game, you're Spider-Man, and there's Mary Jane, and J. Jonah Jameson, and Venom, and that's, and then you're good.
Yeah, and even in like the new Insomniac Spider games, like they introduce Miles Morales. I think everyone knows who he is because Spider-Verse is so popular, but like he's introduced as a character. You didn't need to know who he was before you went in.
Yeah. Well, and that game also came out a while ago.
Don't say that.
It did.
Make me feel old.
Yeah, feel old. It came out a while ago.
It was like 2017 or something.
It's been like 8 years. Almost a decade.
Which is insane. Video game timeline's not real.
Lols. And then I do remember the old Spider-Man for the PS1 where like you fought Mysterio and Carnage and you got flame webs and the Punisher showed up. I didn't know who he was, but he showed up. And then it ends with them having like a poker night with Captain America, Punisher, Spider-Man, and someone else, I think.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was. I remember it being fun, but you know, I was a dumb little child, so.
I had a Spider-Man game on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What?
That it just doesn't sound good.
It was fine. It was hard. All the games on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
I go on a little rant about this. All Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, incredibly difficult.
Well,
And yet, they were, like, quote-unquote, made for children. Like, the Game Boy is probably the most childish, like, console ever made. Because just, it was incapable of having, like, really deeper experiences. And it was just made for kids. And all the games were incredibly hard.
Well, it did also, like, arcade games existed, and they were hard on purpose to drain your quarters. So then it's like, well, we have this Game Boy, we gotta make games for it, we're very limited in our capacity, and the kids gotta enjoy it so that they will want to buy our other games. So if we just make it hard and force them to play it for a long time...
Yeah, you had a Game Boy, right?
I had a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, Color. What was the first game you ever played on your Game Boy Color?
No idea.
Interesting. Why not?
My memory just don't do that. I don't even remember receiving the Game Boy Color. But I remember...
I think it just comes up a lot that I think your memory's weird, but I also think we've concluded that it is my memory that is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've admitted before, like, my memory is bad. But your memory is also weird. You remember a lot of things at early ages, especially, that I'm just like, how? But I remember I played Dinosaur, the movie tie-in game on the Game Boy Color. I played Pokemon Yellow, and then later Pokemon Red, or I guess Pokemon Red, then Pokemon Yellow. I played the Cubix racing game. And those are all the video games. I maybe Tetris. And those are all the video games I remember playing on the Game Boy Color.
That's cool. I had some sort of Bugs Bunny game, and then I had Pokemon Silver, and Spider-Man, and like that was really it.
I did get Gold as well.
Very cool. Best ones. I'm wondering what would happen if this episode is going to be called like Dating Stories or something like that. Someone clicks on, let's say that your future wife clicks on this episode, years from now.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, Dating Stories. And then gets to the end and they're like, Dating Story? That video was about like, that episode was like Batman, Game Boy Color memories, trains, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
I don't know. Do you ever think about like the legacy that you're leaving behind in these podcast episodes?
No, not really. I thought you were going to say, oh, Eric's future partner's going to find this video and be like, he doesn't remember receiving his first Game Boy Color. Does he even remember how we met?
That's why he doesn't remember our anniversary.
No, I mean, in terms of like a legacy, nah, it's all chill for me. I'm, No offense, but I think it's just kind of fun to have these little chats, and if people watch them and have fun with it, that's cool. But I don't care about legacy or like a lineage or any of that. If some people
the same attitude,
me,
the same attitude as to why you don't want to have children is the attitude why you don't care about what you say on the podcast.
I mean, I care a little bit about what I say, but it's all chill.
It's all chill.
So leave your comments in the comments below about how you feel about our misleading title episode names and which is your favorite.
And who's your favorite Robin?
And if you have any memories 5 or younger, because it's a little crazy. Let's be real.
Bye, everyone.
Also, it's Dick Grayson. Come on. Bye.